slide on our discussion of the characteristics of culture. Culture is dynamic. This means that it has many influences on it that are subject to change. You can really think about how Zoom, for example, changed the classroom overnight and what the classroom looks like. For example, if in the way that we're learning right now, this was something that was around before COVID, but really became institutionalized during the COVID period. So now students have an understanding that you can watch a lecture online and you can get the same content in a different format. The deep structure of culture, however, does resist change. You saw that as soon as COVID passed, for example, classrooms returned back to an in-person setting because there's lots of research, of course, behind it, but there's a strong belief that in the US, when you are signed up for a class, it's in person and that you attend a lot of those courses in person. So yes, you can do online programs, of course you can, but in terms of all of the classes that had been online, most of them went back to being in-person classes because the culture does resist any type of permanent change. Most of the changes that you actually see that happen in culture are known as pop culture, and those change rather frequently. So when you think about what people are wearing, what kind of music people are into, items people are buying, that's mostly pop culture, and it changes very frequently. Change is often not welcomed. It's often greeted with hostility, and you can see that tension period when you see the culture starting to change in people, because it will take a while for people to grapple with whether the change is going to take effect or not. Now, that being said, change can occur. We have seen it, of course, that change has occurred and even in our culture, even within the past couple of decades. But the true reasons why culture usually changes is because of innovation and diffusion. So innovation means a discovery of new practices, inventions, tools, things like that. So a new product comes on the line that just changes the way people do things, and now culture has to adapt to it. For example, when the cell phone came to be, the way we communicated with people now completely changed. Our availability changed. How often we were expected to speak to people changed. Texting came along. What are the rules and the rules around texting and when you respond to somebody and how you speak? That the culture had to change because of the innovation of a new piece of technology. We are all going to be seeing a really big innovation period taking place now with the onset of AI. We'll see that the workplace especially is going to be transformed because of these new technologies that are being introduced. And so therefore, workplace culture is going to change. Diffusion's another way that culture can change. And this just means that cultures borrow from other cultures. Usually, though, what they're borrowing is something that is already compatible with the culture that is in place. So when they borrow things from other cultures, it's because it kind of melds nicely into the culture they already have. For example, sushi. So people going out to eat sushi. Sushi is not an American cuisine by any means, but it diffused into the U.S. culture, and people were very welcoming of it. I have this image down here. It's one of Netflix's most watched movies of all time. So it's K-pop Demon Hunters, and K-pop in general has diffused very well into U.S. culture and has been welcomed in terms of being part of the music that we listen to and the movies and TV shows that we watch. So those are two examples of diffusion. So this part up, when we interact across cultures, we're navigating learned values, shared symbols, and ongoing changes. How we communicate effectively depends on our awareness of all of these moving parts. And so we are going to take a deeper dive into this when we look at the dimensions next time we meet all together in class.